Hey, what's going on YouTube? Download Paris21 here, and I'm here with a little brief tournament locals report for you guys. So overall, let me actually tell you about my weekend. So this past weekend was the start of the Shop Qualifiers, which I attended this past Friday at Thanks for Playing in Maryland, and I'll tell you that I was pretty salty that day. I'm not gonna lie. I ended up playing. Where is she? Where's my girl? I ended up playing, if I can find her, Scarlet Witch Coco. I ended up playing Solus on the Friday. I ended up scrubbing out first 2 rounds. I could not see her all day. And just drew really bad. I drew just really terrible. Could not draw Coco to save my life. And really, I could tell you, my head wasn't really in the game that day. I just lost focus, I think, and I did a few misplays when thinking back in some of my games. So it was really the worst showing I ever showed in a tournament. But I have a few more qualifiers to go to, so the only thing I can do is just learn from those mistakes I did, and it will just be a learning experience for myself. But I'm definitely going to be playing a different deck. I think Coco already has her time done already. So Saturday I ended up playing at my normal locals, just a regular local tournament. I ended up playing MLB. Now I played MLB already. I already played MLB I think a couple weeks prior to that. And I finished 2-2, didn't make top 4, which they didn't go to top 8, they just went straight to top 4, and that was the first time I never topped there. So I had to redeem myself with MLB, and I was really hoping to gain some momentum after that really shaky start to my weekend after the qualifiers. So played MLB, I went 4-1. There was about 25 plus people there. I went 4-1 through 5 rounds, and it went to top 8, won my top 8 match, I made top 4. So really happy with the deck. I only made one change compared to my first version of it when I made this deck profile. I actually will have a link to an in-depth deck profile of it around here. But yeah, let me actually run through the deck really briefly. So I ran the 1 Wingle Brave, triggers. You have 4 Epona, 2 Alabaster Owl, and 2 Lu for 8 crits, 4 Margle for draws and heals, 8 crit, 4 draw, 4 heal. I'm not planning to change this lineup soon because I think it was really consistent, the trigger lineup. And grade 3s, 3 Majesty. I was thinking about running a 4th one in here, but I don't have one. I don't badly need the 4th one, but I think the 4th one will help me open up with it more, so I can Wingle Brave will be more efficient for me, so I don't have to waste. So it'll be less times I have to waste Wingle Brave skill to search for him. So 3 was fine. Yeah, 3 Palamedes. Amazing card. Really good to take on Overlord at the end. 2 Alfreds. Alfred's put in a lot of work this past weekend. I did beat a few Overlord at the end decks with Alfred, just because he was able to hit 18 consistently, because I wasn't able to get my Majesty's combos off. So that was good. And 4 Blaster Blade, really good. 3 Blaster Dark. 2 Star Calls. I think this lineup right here is very balanced to get your Majesty skill off. I never really had an issue necessarily on missing my combo pieces. It was pretty consistent. And 2 Betavirs. I was previously running 3, but 2 was just fine, just because I thought 3 was just a little too much, because he's not even the base of your offense. Palamedes is really better, but he's still good nonetheless. But you don't need to clog up your grade 2 lineup with more than 2. And then grade 1s, you have 4 grade 1s, 4 Marins, 8 key beats, 3 Perfect Guards, 4K. He did really good. He allowed me to be very aggressive early on, and just overall good card. I was trying to out Lake Maiden eat Lian, the one that lets you discard and draw, but I just liked the case to be more aggressive. And 3 Poogle. I was running 2 before, but then I took out my 3rd Bedivere and put a 3rd one. It worked out a lot more consistently, just because I never had a problem lacking boosters, which I did before, the first time I played MLB. So it was really good. So overall, the deck was very consistent, very powerful. It did what it's supposed to. So briefly on the report. So I know round 1 I played against Spike Brothers. I was able to 2-0 that game. I pretty much I mean, I've been playing spikes for a while, so I pretty much know how the deck runs, what's the weaknesses, what do you need to get everything going. So I was able to take, my experience was able to take advantage of that to overcome that game. So I went 2-0, I 2-0'd that game. Second round, I can't remember the exact order of the rounds I played. I know like I played against my friend Sean, really good player, was playing Novagraps. It was a really intense game we had, but I was very fortunate he didn't hit any late game triggers at the opportune moment that he had. It probably wouldn't have won him a few games. It probably would not have won him a game, but it would have definitely put me in a really tight spot. But I was able to win that round. The next I played against my friend Jonathan. It was kind of like a redemption match for me, just because he was playing Overlord at the end, and the first time I played Majesty at my locals, I lost to him. So I was able to redeem myself. I was able to win 2-0. Really close game we had, really good game, but I was able to combo off my skills pretty early and just grind it out from there. Then I played against my friend Mark, which this was actually my first time actually playing with him, because I usually don't see him too often, but he's a really good player. He was playing Shadow Paladins, Phantom Blast, or Overlord. It was actually my first time playing against that deck that was actually completed. It was a really good game. Like game 1, it was pretty intense back and forth between the both of us. We were both getting our skills off, and I think like a good, well-timed critical trigger at 4 damage was able to win him game 1. Game 2, he did misgrade it for I think a turn or two, so I was just able to. I just applied a lot of aggression early on to take advantage of it, so I think that paid off in the end. And then game 3, I guess you could say I kind of made a slight mistake, because I did get double critted at 3 damage, and I did have a pretty good overwhelming advantage over him. And the problem was, I had like a perfect guard, a bunch of 5Ks in my hand, like one 10K. I blocked one of his rear guards, and I figured just to take. I saw like 2 critical triggers in his damage zone. He already drove check 1 the previous turn, and he had 1 in his drop zone, so like he only had like 4 left in his deck, if not maybe more in his hand, because he didn't even have a full field. So I already knew his hand was full of triggers. But, you know, he ended up having like 3 left in the deck, and he was fortunate enough to hit 2 in a row. I mean, he felt bad with it. I mean, you know, because that's really not how Vanguard should be played. But hey, you gotta just take advantage of it and take the wins as you can. You know, I just rolled with it, took it in stride. Can't really be too upset, because, I mean, it's not like I never double critted people. But, so he was able to win. That was actually my first loss of the day. And then for the final 5th round, I played against Overlord the End again. And that game was pretty weird, just because like game one should have really been his, because he had a really overwhelming advantage over me. And the fact is that I had the opportunity. He was at like I think 4 damage, and I had the opportunity to hit double trigger at the end, and I was able to do that. I mean, I didn't really have too many triggers. Like I think I only burned through like 4 or 5 triggers at that point, so I had a decent amount left in my decks, and I really had no choice but to make that gamble. It was really the right play. But, you know, he did have a perfect guard in hand, so I think that's what he was saying that he misplayed at. But, you know, like I said, you gotta just take the wins as you can. Then game 2, pretty close match between us, but Majesty with the +1 crit was just really tough to overcome. And I can't remember exactly what happened in that game, but I was able to 2-0 that match. So I finished 4-1. And then my top 8 match, I played against my friend Jonathan again, playing Overlord the End. So that was like his redemption match, but it was a grind game, but it was actually a really good game between the both of us. Like, we were both hitting our triggers pretty evenly. No one was really sacking one person over the other. And it was like late game, like game 2, that he had like 3 perfect guards in hand and like 4 cards in hand, so it was really awkward for him, but I was able to take the game that way. So yeah, we ended up splitting at top 4, and I pulled crap for my packs, as always. But I was very happy with MLB. So at least if I'm gonna scrub really bad on the qualifiers Friday, at least I was able to redeem myself with MLB and have a really good day on Saturday. So I'm really happy with the deck. I think the deck's really good, and definitely it's one of the best out there right now in the game. As long as you know how to play it properly, you should be very good with the deck. It is a pretty skill-intensive deck, so I think with good practice, though, this deck is a lot of fun and very powerful. So yeah, there you have it, guys. That is my tournament report for you guys. I guess a weekend report you can say too as well. But yeah, I'm going to definitely be posting up some more reports for you soon, because I still have some more time, and I actually have another locals that I normally go to we're doing tournaments now at, so there's going to be more tournament opportunities for me to go to, and I'm going to be participating in more stand-up qualifiers, so definitely be on the lookout for those. So yeah guys, thank you guys for watching. Be sure to go ahead and check out the link of a more in-depth profile for Majesty if you're interested, and definitely give a thumbs up to the video and be subscribed to my channel for more content if you're not already. So yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys next time.